Like LA and NYC, they're kind of like, it's like not really special if like you're an artist or like an important, it's not really special. As to per se to Chicago.
Yeah, I think Chicago just produces crazy people. I think it's because I think it's because of the weather.
It might be.
Dude, like remember last year was fucking 70 degrees in February?
Yeah.
You know, I do think that something about being from Chicago just produces like crazy people.
Yeah, and it might. It's not even like living here. I just think it might be like the land. You know how like people like saying like the land is cursed because
Well, according to Freemasonry, New Orleans and Chicago have the most like negative aura as far as like demons are concerned. We're the most demonically possessed because there's a lot of like there's a lot of like demonic satanic groups cults in Chicago or Chicagoland area. There's voodoo mamas over here or voodoo they call like voodoo, voodoo motherfuckers.
So I could put a curse on someone.
I know someone that can do it for you.
Have you done one before?
I've never put a curse on anybody.
Have you been inside like the place where they do the curse?
Kind of. I have stories for fucking days. My family had a witch that they used to confide in or confine or whatever that fucking word is. Yeah, we had a witch that we used to console, whatever, nigga. Basically, if the priest told you something you didn't like, you went to her. If the priest told you, Frank, your wife is supposed to be with her only, and you didn't like what he said, so then you went to the voodoo papa, and the voodoo papa told you, well, we're men, we need to have, other women, That's pretty much that's what all these people were back in the day. Because if you were Cuban, they had Santeria. Puerto Ricans had Santeria too. The Mexicans have brujeria. Even like just the Masonic orders, like somebody that we know. Somebody that we know.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how do you know that about the things being cursed?
Well, I was watching an interview about that because there's this Freemason that I don't know how much I believe this, but there is this Freemason who was from Illinois. He was training to become a priest, and the priest told him that in order for him to understand Christianity, he had to learn Christianity from where Jesus got Christianity from, which was the occult, right? It was a Catholic priest that told him that. Now, keep in mind, if you know about all the conspiracy shit that was going on during the Second Vatican Council, that it was hijacked by communists. I mean, there's a book on it. That it was hijacked by Masons and by communists who were Jewish. The communists are Jewish. If you understand that, then you know that these priests were all like liberals and shit. So, if the priests were all liberals and they told him that, it was like they were purposefully subverting the Catholic Church, and that's what they did with him, because he became he eventually started studying the occult. He fell into Satanism. He was a satanic priest. Then he became in order for him to become a satanic priest, he said that he had to become a Freemason. So then he became a Freemason, worked his way up the lodge, and then he left the lodge and he became a Mormon. But he was studying to become a priest in Chicago, and he was saying that in Chicago, in New Orleans, they're the most they have the most negative aura, basically, because of all because we have a bunch of Haitians in Chicago. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
We have a lot of Haitians in Chicago.
So you're blaming the Haitians?
Yes.
Or do you think the Haitians knew there was already like bad voodoo or whatever you call it?
No, they bought the voodoo because voodoo comes from Haiti. So here's the thing.
Because I believe Louisiana.
So here's the thing. We have a lot of Haitians in Chicago. Okay, have you ever seen those black people they're like black as fuck? Like they're just black as shit. They're like fucking charcoal briquettes.
Yeah.
Okay, they're most likely Haitian, right? Their grandma was Haitian, is what I'm trying to get at. You know what I mean? So when they came here, they bought voodoo, right? When you fucking people came, when the Puerto Ricans came, you guys bought Santeria, and when the Cubans, because we have a small Cuban community in Chicago, but they're like dispersed. They don't have their own little spot like the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans. They bought Santeria with the Puerto Ricans, right? So they have Santeria, and then the Dominicans practice Santeria. But what makes you people special is that you, being a Puerto Rican, you can practice voodoo, because in order for you to practice voodoo,
I'm not Puerto Rican. You gotta stop.
you said
saying
you said you were Puerto Rican.
I'm not Puerto Rican.
You said you were a quarter Puerto Rican.
When did I ever say that?
You said your mom's half Puerto Rican.
Dude, no, she's not half Puerto Rican. She was lying about it. I'm not even kidding.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Cause I know you're gonna keep on saying that. I'll just have to be like,
well, I mean, you still have black blood, so you could practice voodoo. I cannot practice voodoo because it's not. I'm not black, right? Hope not. Okay. But no, yeah. So when these immigrants bought their black magic with them, think about it. You got Santeria from the fucking Islanders and voodoo from the Islanders. Then you got the Mexicans bringing in brujeria. That just translates to witchcraft.
Brewskis?
Huh?
I thought it translates to brewskis. I know they were bringing the brewskis, bro.
So, brujeria just translates to witchcraft, but typically what they're referring to is Native American, or excuse me, indigenous Mexican, Native Mexican, magic, right? And what makes it so crazy is that all these Haitians, Cubans and Ricans and Dominicans and Mexicans, they're all Catholic, right? So they mix Catholicism with witchcraft, with their indigenous or African spirituality practices. So that's what makes Catholicism so unique to us, is that we've intertwined dark magic or black magic into it.
Is that a good or bad thing?
I mean, depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you.
I think it's a bad thing, but I don't think all the people that practice it are bad. You know what I mean? They don't know any better.
That's what it sounds like when people are like, "Oh, I wouldn't get an abortion, but I don't judge people who get abortions."
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going off on a tangent, but I mean, Christianity as a whole, not the idea of Christianity, but a lot of traditions in Christianity are rooted in paganism. But the thing is that, and
wait, stop. Wait, stop. I need to take a step back. Say it again.
A lot of traditions in Christianity are rooted in paganism. So, and I'm not even saying it to attack Christianity, because the way Catholics look at it is that if there's a pagan practice that isn't bad in the eyes of God, according to the tradition of the church.
Was sodomy ever a pagan practice?
Yeah, it was.
So that's one of the ones they stopped.
Well, yeah, because you're not having sex the way you're supposed to have sex.
Okay.
So, but doggy style is okay.
Is that supposed to be like a dig at like Christianity, that they're okay with that?
No, it's not a dig. That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, you're a big fan of doggy style?
I love doggy style. It's my favorite album. No, it's my favorite position. I fucking love doggy style. Well, when it's going in the vagina, because if you put it in the ass, then that's sodomy, so that's sinful. But a lot of Christian practices are rooted in paganism. Now, paganism doesn't always necessarily mean bad, because you know a tree by its fruits, not by its roots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, some pagan practices, if they're in line with the tradition of the church, with the Bible, then it's okay. But if it's like, if you're doing blood libels and shit like that, then it's not good. Because the Italians have their own form of like magic too. Like, I don't know. Do you remember in you remember in Sopranos when they cut?
Yeah.
What's his name? Christopher Moltisanti.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to cut their hand. You split it, right, and the blood's supposed to go on a image of Saint Joseph, because the Italians are big into Saint Joseph. That like seals that seals the deal for you. Like, you're part of the La Cosa Nostra.
So you're saying
That's a bad thing. That's a bad
So
thing.
you're saying anytime someone does something with blood, or where it's like an act or whatever, that's like pagan rooted. Where it's like you're doing something that's like one act after another, and then somewhere along the line, like sacrificing someone or drawing blood. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, because but why is drawing blood bad? Because Christ already did that for you. There's no need for you to fucking do it. What you're dealing with is demonic spirits. So, because the Mexicans do this thing with, St. Jude, right?
Yeah.
San Judas is what they call them. They do stupid shit with San Judas too. Like, for example, like they'll bring a beer for St. Jude, or they'll bring them weed, money, cigarettes. Never in the fucking 2,000 years of church history did Christians ever do that. But the Mexicans, they appropriated it with their pagan practices, which was bringing offerings to their pagan gods. That's when it becomes wrong. Because if you just say, St. Jude, please bless this podcast, then that's not a bad thing. But if I go and I go get an image or a statue of St. Jude and I start giving them cigarettes and offerings, so for this podcast to succeed, then that's not St. Jude. That's a demon responding to you. So, yeah, I got into a whole fucking tangent. I just made a clip for us, but yeah, yeah. Chicago is yeah. I believe it having a lot of the like demonically, like the demonic possession or negative aura. Because you got all these immigrant groups bringing in their fucking magic. Another thing's Irish, right? They went to Irish, like this girl's dad. What were the Druids? They were Irish.
What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck are the Druids?
You know what Druids are?
No.
Wizards. That's where the wizards come from.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, there were these wizards. So, St. Patrick, funny enough, St. Patrick, he wasn't even Irish. He was Italian or Roman. He was a slave of one of the Druids, like the Irish and shit, the Celtic people. So he was freed from slavery, became a bishop, and went back to go fight fucking wizards in Ireland.
So where does like
And I'm pretty sure for a lot of these Irish motherfuckers, a lot of that druidic or Wiccan magic stood in their culture.
Wick food stamps?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, a lot of that shit stayed in their culture. They're Catholic, yes, but the Irish people still kept a lot of their pagan practices in their culture.
What is the least pagan race of people?
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Really?
Yeah.
So basically only like heritage American WASP.
Mm-hmm. But they're Freemasons. So never mind. That just defeated everything I just said.
Yeah, because it felt I thought whites were like the number one pagans. Like whites in general, but
no, I think the biggest offenders of paganism has to be gypsies, Mexicans, actually all Hispanics. Because the Spanish, when the Spanish brought Catholicism over to the Americas, their idea of Catholicism was already warped by Jews and Muslims. There's this old hymn or chant in it's called the Mozarab or Hispanic Rite of the Catholic Church. They formed their own liturgy outside of Roman Catholicism, and in the chant they say Alhamdulillah, like it's for Jesus. The song is about Jesus, but they say Alhamdulillah. Yeah,
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, yeah. Then the Jews influenced that shit too. So basically, somehow we got to the. I went on a whole fucking tangent. My bad. Because I love talking about theology and esotericism, but